Maddie, it's so nice to meet you. How are you today?
I'm so good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. I've enjoyed watching Gen V and seeing how season two is very different from season one and Cate especially. So I want to start with, do you enjoy playing the very much in control, very powerful Cate or the very rejected, still healing version in season two more?
I think that one of the things I'm most grateful for with this role is the full spectrum that I get to explore with this character. I feel like I get to play so many different characters in one girl. I really enjoy having a more contained in control, whether or not it's a farce or, whether or not it's genuine for her in the moment. I really like that energy, and I also really love being a little more unhinged. I really love getting to access, emotions that get your adrenals going, and I love all of it. I can't really pick.
How do you feel about her? Do you feel like she's one of the good guys or it's a little bit more complicated?
I feel like she has a really good heart, and I think that, when we go through things, especially when we're younger, it shapes who we are in such a profound way. Everybody's just looking for love and acceptance, and I think that all of these kids are looking for that in their own ways. And so I think that she is at the core a good person. I think she is just really misguided and yeah, but I really, really love getting to see how she evolves in this season and getting to see how she, goes about things in different ways, because the root and the core of what she wants and believes in is the same, but it's, executed in a less violent way, which is always good.
Also, the show is always a little bit twisted in a great way, and the fact that her powers are malfunctioning a little bit provides
Mm.
some sort of weird entertainment. Never really goes too far. I feel like the show likes to always go a little bit further than it should in the best way. But
Yeah.
what was it like getting to see how those abilities manifested in different ways than expected?
It was really fun for me because I don't get to do much comedy at all in this show, and that's one of my favorite things. And so it was really fun. Like, for example, the gnome scene that I did with Derek, with Mail Jordan, when he ended up having sex with the garden gnome, the security guard. That was really, really fun for me to get to have to, you know, approach this guy with try to seem confident, and like she knows what she's doing, while in her mind she's like, something might probably go terribly wrong here. And I just think it was really fun and funny to get to um, you know, have all of that confliction in her mind. And yeah, it was like really, really fun for me. And yeah, it's always fun to play a moment where, like, you don't know what's about to happen. The character doesn't know what's about to happen. And yeah, it's been really fun. And the sound effects are so cool. Like, when I didn't really notice, the fan sort of pointed it out to me, where, like, there's a little sound effect that happens when her powers are being used, but then when her powers are malfunctioning, there's like it's like a weird little twinkle glitchy sound, and I thought that was fun too.
I think also a lot of people, when they're using their powers, the actors, they're just sort of doing a movement and then something happens, some sort of effect. And for you, it's like you touch somebody and you see exactly what happens because they have to act that out. And so that must be
Yeah.
somewhat satisfying, at least not to have to imagine what's happening, but instead to see that your touch really is so powerful and can make people do things.
Totally, yeah, totally. Yeah. I really don't have to do much, and I don't have to do stunt training and, all of that. I just sort of, as I've said before, I like touch people and say things. So yeah, it's kind of nice.
Is there anybody in the ensemble that you feel like you still have not gotten enough time to work with, even after two seasons?
For sure. I feel like I don't work with Lizzie a lot at all. I feel like I don't work. I got to do a couple nice scenes with London this season, but I definitely feel like for the most part, I do feel quite separate from the group. I'm often with whoever the dean is, or, you know, I don't know. I definitely would love to work with everybody a little more, but I feel like there's a lot of fun potential, I think, with Kate and Emma. So I think that would be really fun, and I would love to work with Lizzie more.
And I know that both Emma and Lizzie are pushing for a threesome scene, which I'm sure would involve Cate in some scene. You know, she keeps joking about that. She's like, I'm not really joking. I'll be mad at the writers. But I mean, this show seems to find plenty of time for, sex and other things, even when the fate of the world should be a more pressing concern. But there's
Yeah.
always plenty of that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's life, isn't it? When there's war going on, there's other stuff going on too. It's always happening.
Well, I want to talk about the finale, and the finale will already be out by the time that this has aired. Um, it feels like this show is sort of like merging with the boys a little for its final season, but I also would love to still see more of Gen V in the future. I'm sure there's stuff that you probably can't tell me, but what can you tell
Oh,
me
there's
about the
not.
future? There's
There's
not. Okay.
not. No. Yeah.
What would you like to see for the future of Cate and for this show, whether it's involved with the final season of The Boys or separate?
Um, I mean, yeah, if we're talking about the fifth season, I guess I do know some whether or not things happen or whatever. But anything past that, we've got no idea. But I would love to see the characters outside of their usual environments. I think that's when some really exciting things happen. Like, I was sort of thinking about what season three might look like if we get to do more of this. And I was like, do they go into the workplace? Like, do we get to see, all of these characters have to deal with the big wide world in a totally different way that could be interesting. But my brain could never fathom the likes of what Eric Kripke comes up with. So I'm just like down for the surprise because I know it's whatever it is, it's going to be good.
You mentioned before learning something from the fan base. What is your interaction like with them, and what is it like to have such an active group of people so interested in this show?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The only other experience I've had with fans in this kind of way is when I did Teenage Bounty Hunters and I that came out during COVID, and so I didn't have a lot of boundaries when it came to fans because I kind of just felt like the walls had come crashing down in terms of like, viewer versus like performer and things like that. And also a lot of like queer kids were fans of the show because of the nature of the show. And so I got a really great personal, lovely experience with fans. And so coming into this, I sort of going in with that behind me was just really nice because I didn't feel like super protective of myself because it's a lot like it's a lot to have that amount of energy coming at you, and I've been really pleasantly surprised at how I've had a sort of similar experience with the fans. There are a lot of young adults who feel really seen in the same way that the Bounty Hunters fans did, because these characters are, either, sexually fluid or they just have they, feel misunderstood for, all these different reasons. And I think that when those things really speak to people, it brings out really beautiful things. And like, I really love being able to be a vessel for people to feel seen by. And I had a couple interactions with some people the other day who are, one girl was like missing an arm, and she really appreciated how Cate was depicted in the show, which was really touching and really fulfilling for me. And so that kind of thing like really warms my heart and is like really sweet. So I'm super grateful for all of that.
Let's hope that there's plenty more of this show in this universe for fans to get excited about. Thank you so much, Maddie. Look forward to seeing more in the
Thank you
future.
so much. Have a great day.